Ladies and gentlemen, Double A with Crown of Thoughts here, and we've got an interesting episode for you guys today. But first, while you're clicking that subscribe button, this podcast has been brought to you by violence. You ever have a petty conversation with somebody that you just cannot seem to escalate, no matter what you do? You know, they keep using their manners, being considerate and respectful of your ideas. And, you just can't seem to manage to put them over the top. You know, everyone's got views and opinions. And sometimes when you express these views and opinions and people do not get pissed off, it can be a little hard on you, but not with violence. Violence can escalate any conversation. There's all kinds of things that violence can do for you if you start using this simple tool. Violence can bring you wealth. Violence can put an end to annoying, pesky relationships. You know, for those of you who have trouble being incarcerated, violence can solve your problems as well. One of the quickest tools you can use for such purposes. And so, with this, by the way, this is sponsored by violence, but this is also a tool I use in my personal life as well. I wouldn't, I wouldn't just have anyone, sponsored. I wouldn't just be sponsored by anyone unless I actually approved of the product or tool in this case. So I use violence, and a lot of you out there do, but there's a lot of you out there that do not. You just do not have the confidence, or you feel like maybe I'm just not the type, or whatever. But I promise you use this simple tool of violence and you will get results fast. And so, anyway, back to today's episode. There seems to be an issue today with children not abusing enough substances. Now, it's been getting better. The average age of substance abuse, or at least participation in substances, maybe not full-blown addiction, it used to be 17 to 19. Now it's 12 to 13. So we're making some leadway, guys. We're making some leadway here, but certain people have been telling parents have been telling their teachers it's not enough. Not all parents even have access to substances that they can abuse, let alone children. And that's a big issue today is parents not providing proper access to drugs, or at least encouraging. There's a lot of parents that don't enjoy when their children get involved with drugs. And it's a sad state, Unfortunately, you don't need a license to have a child. So there's all types out there. And a lot of parents discourage it. And it's discerning to me. It really is. Now, it's been getting, like I said, we're progressing in a decent direction here. There's more talk about drugs, more awareness. There's kids today that know what DMT is. Who ever heard of that back in the day? So there's some awareness being brought to this situation. And we are getting better. But some parents have been complaining about this issue. Their children are given lunches at school, but no drugs. And it's like, we've all been looking at the White House like, what are you guys gonna do about this, man? You're just gonna let kids walk around sober? And they're too busy fighting their wars and, you know, searching for resources and oil and these types of things, and they're not paying attention to all these kids battling sobriety. Their minds clear and able to think. They're starting to recognize shit, some of these children. Maybe even getting bored. A lot of children get bored often, and you see these parents just go outside, just do this, just do that, and it's like, apparently they've already tried that because they're bored. And we all know what cures boredom. It's fucking drugs. And these parents are making it hard for themselves, and they're making it hard for their children and for their communities. By the way, communities, that's one. So in trying to push more younger people towards substance abuse, um, one of the things we have to do is start to dismantle these communities, because kids with too much community, too much family, too many people around them that care about them don't tend to use substances, at least not in the quantities of kids that have no. They're already on the road towards abusing these substances. There's kids that actually don't have family and community and sense of meaning, and that's wonderful. We need to keep we need to keep these children in those types of situations. Maybe more broken homes. That's one. That's a starter. Um, we could have more. What am I trying to say? A big deal if they don't get into the abuse of substances, and some of these children they won't abuse a substance till they hit their early 20s. And a great place a great place for this stuff to happen is college campuses and universities, and a lot of these places are trying to discourage this. Look, if you haven't at a young age gotten plastered on a regular basis, or struggled with uh, severe addiction issues, your only opportunity might be college. Your only opportunity might be the university. And it's a shame. Like you put in, you pay all that money, you put in all that work, you write those damn fucking papers the professor asks you to write. You do all these things, and yet no keggers. That's these universities are in danger right now. And I don't know if there's a way that we can reverse this. Because it seems to me like less people are going to universities now. And so how are we going to reach them with drugs? All right, well, so there's certain stores that will sell, certain things that might get people into the concept. Like a lot of people, it takes something just as simple as caffeine. And they're like, oh wow, this is, wonder what that other stuff's like, and for some people, and they used to get them in the schools more with the Ritalin and the Adderall, and that might be a little good gateway there, getting your foot in the door, at least, you know what I mean? At least leave a beer out on the counter when you're going to bed. They'll find it, they'll drink it, you know. And it's not like everyone's gonna be grow up to be hanging out at the bar every night with people they think are their friends, but sometimes just a little bit, not every you're only gonna there's certain people that you're only gonna reach just a little bit, maybe a glass of wine or whatever. And there's certain people that right off the bat, man, they're like freebasing and smoking and shooting, and these are the types of people that just they pour their whole lives into it. That's another thing. People think they can just drink a beer, maybe even smoke a cigarette, and they're a substance abuser. I don't That's not how it works, man. Everyone does that. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of years. You have to recondition your brain. Like like alcohol. That's a good example. A lot of people have run into that and used it as a that'll reach more people. But yet you can't just pound a bottle of liquor your first try. It takes practice. These things take a long time, and it's discouraging to certain individuals. But it's like, hang in there, man. You'll be a full blown addict living in the street in no time. And it takes a little bit. It takes a little out of you, you know. But it's better than, like, you ever have one of those days you just shoot right out of bed ready for the day? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to deal with that if you don't abuse substances. We all like those days where we can't get out of bed, our head's throbbing, we feel like throwing up. These are the types of things that you can push for. You can actually try to accomplish these things, and it's not. There's people that are just real good at it. They were like born for that shit, and there's people that got to try hard. And don't get discouraged, man. There's always one more substance right around the corner waiting for you. You just have to open your eyes, man. Open your eyes. It's all over. It's all around you. You know. Here you are trying to accomplish things and do something with your life, not even realizing. You take a couple walks down the block. You can put a cap on your success pretty quickly. There's a lot of people struggling with success and a lot of people enduring severe bouts of sobriety. You're not the only one. If you're watching this video, you obviously wanted some help. And I'm here to help you with that. So we've covered a good bit now. The average age of a person that's going to use a substance is dropping, so that's good news. And the availability is increasing, so that's good. And the potency of certain products are increasing. We're on our way. We're on our way to. It's not all negative. We've got a lot going on, but we've also got a lot more work to do. And I'm trying to bring some awareness to this topic because I feel like there's a lot of people out there. Maybe you live in the country, there's not a whole lot of people around you, You can't score these types of things. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there like you. Looks like I got some kind of thing on there. And there's a lot of people that have issues finding these things. I know it sounds weird for someone like you and I, but there is. You know, you got to do some networking, put the hours in, put the time in. You got to live it. You got to live the life. You can't just, you know, go out there and think you're going to find everything you want to find the first day that you take that walk to the city, or the first day that you hit up your buddy at school and ask him. Maybe you ask him if he can find this or that and he says no. Well, don't give up there. Ask another friend. Maybe ask him a week from now. You know, you gotta like give it a good shot, man. And so you know, my heart goes out to some of these people. You know, waking up without hangovers, being successful in life, having a sense of community, friends, family. My heart goes out to these people. And so, you know, I thought this was a very important topic. And I hope this video was helpful. If not, you know, hit me up. I can hook you up with something. If you can leave a comment or something. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, don't really know you. But yeah, so there we are. And you're not alone if you're struggling with sobriety. It can be difficult. You know, relief is right around the corner. I promise you. And don't forget our sponsors, Violence. Be right on the road to using violence now. I use violence in my personal life as well. I wouldn't, like I said before, I wouldn't endorse a product or tool that I also wouldn't use. And so here we are, Crown of Thoughts, short episode. They're gonna start getting shorter. And yeah, you know, that's about it. You guys have a good day. Get violent and score some shit.